welcome to Porfection, where we try to often answer the question whether a Porsche is your perfect car and when it's not. So today we have a 2021 Dodge Charger Scat Pack, and yes, we will compare, as I did, a Dodge Charger with a Porsche, but we'll get into that in a minute. So this is a 2021, and I cross-shopped it with a Panamera. 2014 to 2016, they had a naturally aspirated 440 horsepower V8 and $480 oil changes. I ended up going with the Charger as my daily vehicle. Now to kind of talk a little bit about how a 22 would spec out the exact same car if you ordered one today as option like this one. We'll go through those options and go from there. So the list price is just over $49,000. As it sits today, it has a $1,000 rebate, and that gets you the Scat Pack option. And of course, that's what gives you that 6.4 liter naturally aspirated 485 horsepower V8. It comes with an 8-speed automatic. You can get a 6-speed on a Challenger, but not on the Charger. And gives you kind of a low 4-second 0 to 60 and a mid 12-second quarter mile. If you got a 991 911, you know, you better watch out. It'd be a close call. So not that too many of you are cross-shopping a 911 with a Charger, but let's stick to the numbers. So this color is actually granite crystal. And it's optioned with the Dynamics package, and what that gives you is a 1/2 inch wider wheel. It goes to a 20 by 9.5 and gives you those 275 all-season tires with the option of going to summer only P0s. It gives you 6-piston front brakes. For those that have tuned in to one of my previous reviews, I've had a couple other cars, and I noticed that the brakes would heat up a good amount. Haven't had that issue with these. I mean, they're sizable brakes. I don't think you'd be disappointed. This also has the nav and travel group, which gives you navigation, of course, and your Sirius radio. That's $995. The Plus group, that gives you your Napa Alcantara interior. This one is optioned in red. It also gives you heated second row seats. That's $2,095. The aforementioned Pirelli P0s are $695. Also, that Plus group gives you your stitched dash panel, memory seats, and most importantly, it gives you your rear illuminated cup holders. Yeah, I mean, you gotta have those, right? So altogether, $55,580. Now, I did not order the driver convenience group for $890. That gives you your HID headlamps and your blind spot monitoring, or the technology group with your adaptive cruise control and your brake assist and your lane departure warnings. I already got my wife yelling at me and the occasional other driver yelling at me. The last thing I need is my car to be taking over and yelling at me too, so I did not get that, and I saved myself $1,895. So a little bit about the car. Of course, it's very, you have a lot of room. It's a very comfortable car. But you know, when you start getting up, closing in on that $60,000 range, there are other options. Again, I shopped the Panamera. They were running $55,000 to $60,000 for a GTS with 30,000 miles on it, and it was really the maintenance costs that pushed me away again as a daily driver. It was going to be tough telling my wife that I got an oil change for $500. So because even the oil change, you just about can't do it yourself, because so much of the underbody cladding has to come off of the car to access to change the oil. So I went with the Charger. I drove it year round. I bought a set of winter tires, and I changed that out. I didn't have any problems with traction, believe it or not. Here in Wisconsin, of course, it's winter for half the year, and the car did really well. The problem was ground clearance. You know, Dodge advertises a 5.1 inch clearance, and I don't know what they're measuring from. You would think it would be from the lowest part of the car, but no. So the front air dam, and I'll get some shots later that we'll overlay in the video, because again, we try to do these one take or as close to it as we can get. But you know, you're looking at about 4 inches. Some of the arrow below that, or even in front of the front tires, I mean, you're talking 2.5 or 3. You know, so 5.1 was pushing it. When you're talking about 4, well, I didn't need a snowplow. I had a Dodge Charger. So this is what I'm talking about with the low clearance. This is a pin. That's how much that sits off the ground. The front air dam is about a pin worth. It's tight under there. So let's talk about the 5 likes and dislikes of the Charger. So one mentioned ground clearance. Let's talk about gas mileage. Obviously, you're not going to buy a 6.4 liter V8 and think you're going to get 40 miles a gallon. So real world, mixed driving, I could get it to 21. And you better love the drone, because you only get that if you're just feathering the throttle and you let it go into the 4-cylinder mode. When it does that, you do get drone. You get some drone anyway at certain speeds on the interstate and so forth. Nothing terribly bad noticeable. So if that concerns you, you know, maybe look elsewhere. But in 4-cylinder mode, it does noticeably change the tone, and you do get extensive drone. You will see the instant gas mileage reading, you know, 25 or 30 as you're coasting down a hill. But you know, expect if you are having fun with the car, you know, expect high teens. So the other thing that kind of turns me off of the Charger a little bit, number 3, is you know, it just looks like they all look the same now. They've put so many of the looks and the hood scoop and everything on some of the lower models. It used to kind of just be the RTs. Now you can get the GT with that kind of hood. And so it's, you know, you've paid for something that really stands apart. And yes, it has the sound, it has the speed and so forth that you'd like. But you know, you just kind of blend in a little bit, as much as a Charger can blend in. Fourth is the steering. You know, when they move to the electric steering, it is just numb. When you put it in like sport mode and so forth, I mean, it just makes it harder to steer. It doesn't give you any greater feeling or feedback or anything. It is as numb of a steering rack as I've ever driven in a performance type car. You know, so if you like steering feel, you know, if you you know, drove air-cooled Porsches or something, you know, or even, you know, the Mustangs and Camaros or Cadillacs, or, you know, those types of performance models, I found this vehicle with pretty numb steering. So be prepared for that. And then, you know, finally, you know, these are old. You know, now, not that old isn't good. Everybody's advertising vintage junk for high prices, you know, so it can be good. But, you know, this car came out in 2005, and it's been regularly updated, and the tech is decent and so forth. But, you know, that's 17 years, and we're about to start year 18. And as some of you may know, it was based on the architecture of the E-Class Mercedes back when Mercedes and Dodge and Chrysler were married. So that went back to the mid-90s. So it is an old platform. It is heavy, and you do notice that weight. Now, things that I do love about this car, you know, the value. I mean, where else do you go to get as many features as this has, the space that it has for you know, $50,000? So it has everything you need to do that. I go back to it, naturally aspirated V8. You know, as you've seen in some of my other videos, I love naturally aspirated cars. Turbos just seem to always be lacking something. You know, I mean, the Pontiac, the Chevy SS are gone, Porsches are gone, BMWs are gone, Mercedes is gone. You know, where do you go for a naturally aspirated V8? That the 6.4 Hemi, you see most of these likes are engine related. The sound. Just great sound, great linear power delivery. You know, love the engine. So the powertrain is unique, and the powertrain is powerful, gives you a unique sound. It's a lot of fun. You do get in it, start it up, and feel like you're in something special. The size of the car, you know, you about have to step up to an SUV to get this much room. You know, everybody fits. So again, this option comes on the Plus package, and that's the stitching that I mentioned earlier. This has the red option. It also comes in black or tan. You'll notice that the interior looks pretty decent. The top half of what you're sitting in. When you get below that, you got you know, a lot of hard plastics that you know, might not make it in most newer design $60,000 cars. The tech, you know, the Chrysler tech, everybody seems to like that. I find it easy to use. That seat is set for me, and in the back you see plenty of leg room for me. You do have with that Plus package your heated rear seats and your ports. You can haul, this is a regular size carry-on that I use just for demonstration purposes, so you'll notice it's pretty beat up, but you can put 6 of those in here and then still have some room on the sides. And then finally, the running cost. Besides the gasoline, you know, this is a 500 horsepower sedan that you can take to your nearest Dodge dealer and get the oil changed. You know, parts are cheap and plentiful, and it's reliable, and you know, I guess that's what happens when you make one for 20 years. You kind of start getting it right. So I haven't had any issues, problems, concerns at dealerships. Just go in, get your oil changed, swap out your tires, and away you go. So as you all know, we kind of finish these videos with a relationship score. I would give this one a 4 out of 5. And, you know, because again, you have the ride quality is stiff. You may see it in the video of kind of bouncing up and down a little bit. Not terrible, and that's on northern roads. If you're on southern roads and a sports car ride is something that you don't mind, it won't be a problem. But as an everyday vehicle in the upper Midwest, it's a little stiff. The low clearance, the gas mileage, it just makes it somewhat compromised for daily use. And then conversely, if you're looking at it more from a sports car standpoint, you know, it's common with others. You have the numb steering, you have a big car. It just doesn't really feel special enough to be like a sports car toy. You know, so it does everything. It's just really not on top of anything. So maybe if you went with the wide body, if you wanted the sports car, that has a really different look, and it's more unique. But if you can only have one car, this one could be the right car for you. But if you're looking for a toy, if you're looking just for something special in your garage and you have something else to drive, you know, you'll probably go elsewhere. Where if you're looking for a sophisticated chassis, if you're looking for luxury and a super comfortable car, you know, when you keep in mind again the ride quality and so forth, again, you might want to look elsewhere. Please remember to like and subscribe to the video. You don't want to miss any of my infrequent updates. And if I keep declaring on my taxes all these expenses and I have zero income, I'm going to get audited. So please save me from that.